Welcome to Capital City Paranormalish, where we explore the craziest and creepiest paranormal TikToks. So sit back and get ready to have your reality questioned. Exclusive Special Edition. Welcome to another edition of Capital City Paranormal-ish. Tonight we have a special edition where we're going to take a good look inside human trafficking and a new movement called Open the Containers. So with that being said, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow and improve, and let's get straight to tonight's videos.
Children heard screaming in the containers at the port.
Fam, I truly think this is a very serious problem, and we need to all call out to our local members of parliament and make it mandatory that all shipping containers be opened prior to being loaded, no matter what, without exception. I mean, we can't have this happening any longer. So let's do our part and reach out, open the containers.
Another night of screaming in the containers.
Help me!
You know, this is really a more common problem than what people might think. It happens every day in shipping lanes all across the world. So I think it's very important that we put a stop to it immediately. And could you imagine being kidnapped one night and all of a sudden you wake up and you're in a shipping container on a ship heading to who knows where for who knows what? Let's put an end to it. Open the containers.
Okay, so quick little story. Pretty wild. I used to work at this place. They used to ship steel. They used to ship a bunch of stuff overseas and stuff, right? They used to go in shipping containers. Pretty crazy, right? So all this stuff in the news, you hear kids getting shipped off into crates and human trafficking and stuff. It's crazy as hell. So yeah, basically, so I go to load up this trailer. This trailer was a shipping container, 40 foot. So I go over there. I'm opening it up like a normal day. I go to open it up. Boom, I open it. I lower the thing down. Once I lower that thing, I smell the most disgusting smell I've ever smelled in my entire life. I thought it was like manure. It definitely wasn't manure. I smelled, it's something weird about humans that they can smell dog shit, manure, everything else, but there's a distinctive smell that humans make. It's a distinct smell. So I walk into this trailer, this container, and I go to inspect it. So I walk into this trailer, I'm looking around, and it's so nasty in there, I can't even breathe. Like, I'm holding my nose, I'm walking around looking, and it's definitely human shit. There's no human shit on the floor, though. It looks all cleaned up. But on the walls, you could see that if, like, somebody was there wiping shit all over the walls. From the front of the container all the way to the back and around. Like, somebody had like shit in their hands and was pressing it up against the walls. It was weird and it was disgusting. So I ended up calling one of my bosses and I'm like, yo, you need to come check this thing out. He comes over, he's looking around like, what the fuck is going on? So I go and I'm just taking a closer look at all the handprints. You see handprints, and they're little handprints. They're not big hands. I'm looking at them, and they're just pressed up all around the walls, everywhere around the walls. I'm like, this is the most craziest thing I've ever seen. And basically, I go and I kind of figure out where the placement of the hands are. I'm not a tall person. I'm really short. I'm like 5'6", 5'7" max. So I'm looking at all these handprints, and they're about the size of, like, as tall as my waist. So I was like, this is really crazy. We got to send this out of here. So we end up sending the truck, the container away. Never heard anything about it. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, man, I think I just ran into a trailer that was used for human trafficking. Kids. It was like the kids could not see because it was pitch black in there. There's no lights in there. And they were pooping on themselves and putting it all over the wall, searching around. It was the craziest thing. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's absolutely disgusting and it needs to stop. So open the containers, scream out to your members of parliament, make it a mandatory law. Here's more videos.
Remember when I said we the people are the ones that need to make America great again? We are the ones who have to do the work. We have to be the ones to change the world, one shipping container at a time. I'm going to open mine, and I'm going to show you how to do it so the rest of you can get out there and open yours. Let's start this movement. Let's open one shipping container at a time. Let's free the people. Okay, now open yours.
So do you want to know why most port strikes don't last more than a couple of days, and the workers are mandated to go back to work? It's because when the container ships come to port, and they're not moving anymore, the people inside those containers know they're at port. And when they run out of food and water, and there's no place to, let's say, stand or sit or lay down, because there's other people who are. Well, they didn't make it. Well, that's why the port strikes are over so soon. It's because the people inside are making a lot of noise. There you have it.
Truly wouldn't surprise me if everybody was in on it right down to the ports, to right all the way down. So we got to stop this. Scream out to your members of parliament. Make it a mandatory law. Open all containers.
Robotic diver finds sunken container. When they open it, their faces turn pale. Marine archaeologist Kira and her team were on an unexpected discovery during their deep-sea journey into the uncharted territories of the ocean floor. They were exploring a seemingly inconspicuous area when suddenly the hook of their robotic diver latched onto a corroded container, marking the beginning of a change. The container lay quietly on the seabed, its ordinary appearance marred by the traces of time. However, Kira's intuition strongly suggested that beneath its mundane exterior might lie a significant secret. Under her command, the team maneuvered the mechanical arm to slowly open the container. As the door of the container creaked open, the control room on the ship fell into a stunned silence. The team watched tensely through the grainy monitor screens, their heartbeats nearly stopping at that moment. The content displayed on the screens was beyond their imagination. Unbelievable. The members exchanged glances, their eyes filled with confusion and astonishment, unable to believe what they were seeing. For the continuation of the story, reply with "submerged container" in the comment section.
You really need to bang on that door, okay? Otherwise we can't find you. You can. I know you can. Come on. No.
Oh, I think the signal's really bad.
The signal's bad, but I can hear you. What's the emergency?
I'm stuck in a shipping container. I've been trying to call for hours. I can't breathe in here.
Okay, stay calm. What's your location?
I'm in the refugee site at Felixstowe. One of the containers. I went in, but the door's stuck behind me.
Okay, 1 moment. So that site has several kilometers of stacked containers. Can you help us narrow it down?
I don't know. There's no air in here.
It's okay. Just try to stay calm. Alright, how near to the entrance are you?
I don't know. I jumped the fence.
Okay. And is anyone else with you?
No, it was for my YouTube channel, Urbexing.
Okay.
But I do it alone.
Okay.
When they find me, can you tell my mum? I'm sorry that I've been so stupid.
Sir, you're not going to die. Everything's going to be okay.
It's so dark. There's no oxygen.
Sir, can you try to remain calm and breathe slowly? The team is there looking for you now. We just need to... Can you tell me the last thing you saw when you were filming?
It was an old crane.
A what?
An old crane. One with a magnet thing. Can you see it?
Okay. Yes, we can see it.
Are you there?
Yes. I need you to stop banging on the door, okay? Keep banging on the door. Okay, we're close.
I can't do
You
it.
can. I know you can. Come on. Sir?
I can't.
You can. Come on, I need you to bang on that door.
I'm sorry, Mum.
Sir?
Wow, I truly couldn't imagine the horror in that. Truly couldn't. Something that really needs to stop. Scream out to your members of parliament. Open the containers. Mandatory law on all shipping containers. Immediately.
The truth comes out. When the truth comes out, you can run, but you know it's in vain. You're big.
This video says that you could pay for a container ship with a single mission. The only problem is that they use the wrong numbers and can't do math.
How long does it take to recoup the investment in buying a ship? Well, since we're buying, let's go big. Let's approach Hyundai Merchant Marine. They launched a 24,000 container ship last year, priced at $150 million.
Then they make some estimates about revenue and costs and conclude,
our gross profit for this trip is $298 million. Not only will we recoup the investment in both the ship and the containers on one trip, but we'll also make an extra $50 million.
You might notice that $300 million profit less the cost of a $150 million ship is $150 million left over, not just 50. But that's far from the biggest calculating error. In fact, they make all sorts of calculating errors. But if this were true, we'd expect the company to be insanely profitable. So let's just check their Google Finance profits. $2.61 trillion? I was wrong. This is real. They're making trillions. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 2.6 trillion Korean won, or about 2 billion US dollars. Still a profitable company. Their quarterly earnings is going to show us container ships, the number of container ships that their fleet has, and the 20-foot equivalent units, or TEUs, basically the containers that their fleet can hold. So they can hold a total of about 808,000 containers. So the current fleet has about 33 times the capacity of this ship. And the original video says that this ship could make $300 million profit in a 2-week mission. If it were true that you could make $300 million on a 2-week mission, we'd expect the rest of the company, with about 33 times the capacity, to maybe complete 20 missions in a year, or make about $200 billion a year, or $50 billion a quarter. Which is, of course, much greater than the $2 billion a quarter that they sometimes make, and sometimes make much less than. Now let's see where they make their math errors. The biggest problem is when they calculate revenue.
The shipping fee per container is $15,000 now. Although the ship is designed for 24,000 containers, considering utilization rates, we'll probably load around 20,000 per trip, totaling $3 billion in freight.
So 20,000 times 15,000 is 300 million, not 3 billion, so they're off by a factor of 10 there. 2, the Shanghai Containerized Freight Index tells us that the price of shipping a container is much more like $200 or $2,200 and not $15,000. Due to editing reasons, this clip has to take a few more seconds. Beep, boop, 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 boop. I don't know how. And third, Hyundai Merchant Marine reports an average container utilization ratio on their fleet of about 68%. That means on a 24,000 TEU ship, you'd be carrying about 16,320 containers and not the 20,000 that they estimate in the video. There are a lot more problems with the original video. The main idea is that they are way off on all their numbers and estimates and calculations. I'd like to calculate for you how much it would take, how many trips it would take to pay off a shipping container like this. But I think there are a lot of complicating factors, and that would be an immense, difficult project. So I don't know the exact answer to this, but I'm certain that you cannot pay off the ship in one trip, as the original video implies. And I think it's very silly that millions of people are watching that video and hundreds of thousands of people are liking it, and it's absolute nonsense. Thanks for your time.
But in the end, either way, it's very profitable. So that's all well and good, but we got to stop these containers full of people from getting out there. So I want to say it one more time. Scream out to your local parliament members. Make it a mandatory law to open all containers before loading, and make that immediately. And let's put an end to human trafficking once and for all. We've reached the end of the video. Thanks for tuning into this special edition on Open the Containers. And with that being said, on a heartfelt note, au revoir. Thank you for tuning in to a special edition of Capital City Paranormal-ish. Open the containers. And tune in to our next video, which will be back in our regular schedule once every day here at Capital City Paranormal-ish. And until next time, as we always say, au revoir.